Right, so welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing very, very well. With less than a week now in the January transfer window, we're going to go over the last little kind of rumours and bits and pieces that players that Leeds have been linked with. But I think we've all come to the realisation that Leeds aren't going to be doing any business this January. So what I'm going to do instead is focus on a couple of the players that we looked at in this window and maybe see if there's any kind of a realistic chance of landing them in the summer window. We're also going to be talking about the extra £50 million that the San Francisco 49ers have invested into the club as they buy an extra share, an extra percentage of Leeds. And we're also going to be talking about Frank Lampard getting the sack from Chelsea. A man a lot of people were claiming to be a far better manager than Bielsa. And ignoring the fact that he's been handed £250 million to improve a Chelsea side, and he has failed to do so spectacularly. But before we go any further, please remember to subscribe to the channel. We are very, very close to hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark. As we move forward, so we're going to start putting out a lot more content, a lot more different content as well. So hit that subscribe button, make sure that you're tuned into the channel and you'll get all the uploads whenever. And thank you once again for the support from you guys. It has been sensational on this journey of mine. But we're going to talk about Leeds signings now. I mean, January we knew it was going to be a tall order to sign anyone. Angus Kinnear, Radrazani, Phil Hay. I think everyone who was anyone in the know at Leeds, they all said January's going to be quiet. We're not going to bring anyone in. Bielsa's happy with the squad. He doesn't feel the need to improve, and that's fair enough. I don't think that there was. I don't think that there was a need to kind of panic buy or splash out. We did spend a lot in the summer. A couple of those assets are injured. You know, Koch and Llorente. We haven't actually seen them featured for a lot of the season. But bringing in Rodrigo and Rafinha, as a newly promoted side, we've actually done quite well to improve our squad to a Premier League level. By no means is it finished. We're not even close to having a full competitive Premier League squad. A lot of the Leeds side are still Championship level. But I think that's something that can afford to wait until the summer that we rectify that. I don't think we need to be too worried about getting relegated. Does anyone realistically think we're going to get relegated this season? Because we haven't brought anyone in January. Ask me again after the Newcastle game, I might have a different view on it. But I'm fully confident that Leeds will be fine in this division for another year, at least. And then when we can see what we do in the summer if we want to bring in a couple more international, Premier League calibre players. I don't think it's something that we necessarily need to do now. And anyone that's kind of freaking out on Twitter over not signing anyone in January and because of that we're going to get relegated, I think they're overreacting a little bit, and I don't think it's something that we really need to worry about too much. But players that we did look at, Eric Pulgar for a defensive midfield. Julian Draxler was considered for the attacking role. I mean, his name's been thrown about back kind of last summer. These are players that I realistically can see being landed by Leeds. We've expressed an interest where it's kind of the same thing with Rodrigo de Paul, right? We expressed an interest. Is it now going to progress and we're going to look to do something next year, so in the summer? Are we going to look at doing the same thing and maybe pursue Eric Pulgar, maybe try and pursue a Julian Draxler? Because we will need further investment. The squad isn't fully Premier League fit, and it is only doing as well as it is because we have Bielsa, who is an absolute magician, one of the best managers in the world, managing Leeds. It's one of the only reasons we've done as well as we have. Bielsa's not going to be there forever. When he does eventually leave, we are going to need to have the quality in the squad to keep us up just on player merit alone. But I don't think that's an issue for now. I think that's an issue for the summer transfer window after the season ends. We're not going to get relegated because we haven't signed anyone in the January window. Let's look to save a little bit of money and invest it smartly come the summer. Now, BBC Sport and The Times are both reporting that the San Francisco 49ers, who we know are shareholders of Leeds, have pumped in an extra 50 million, and that was to buy an extra 22% of the club on top of the 15 that they already owned. Which means with that, they now currently own 37% of Leeds United. Now that 50 million can go towards a lot of things, and I wouldn't get carried away thinking that we're going to splash out on players in the summer. Elland Road needs a huge overhaul. So the quality of the pitch itself, we know we've got a makeshift thing from Spurs put in place, but the full pitch needs returfing to a professional standard. There were also talks about the capacity of Elland Road increasing to 50,000. That is going to be an expensive venture, but again, it's something that is going to need to happen for a Premier League rich historical club like Leeds is. And with the added capacity as well, that's going to generate more revenue in ticket sales as well once the pandemic is over. That money could also go towards helping offset a couple of the losses caused by the pandemic, and it just makes Leeds' financial position so much better. And in all honesty, it makes us comfortable, and if there's any left over, that can be put towards players. But it just shows, the leaps and bounds our club has come on in the last 4 years. When Rajazani bought the club, I think he bought it for 40 million. He's now sold a 22% share for 50 million. He's increased the value of this club by at least 5 times the amount. That's incredible, and again, it just shows the progression that Leeds have made. We are a big club. We've got a rich Premier League history. Ex-champions of the First Division, and we're now getting back up to a mainstay. This is why I'm so excited for next year and kind of seasons to come. I really don't think that we need to be too worried about getting sucked into relegation battles and all that. I want to see us start going on some major cup runs, and it's an exciting time to be a Leeds fan, and there's only good things in the future. Finally, last bit of news. I was shocked to wake up this morning and see that Chelsea have sacked Frank Lampard. Roman Abramovich deciding that his brand new toys weren't working, and as a result, the Chelsea legend has been given the boot, and not a moment too soon. I was reading some comments from other footballing YouTubers saying how recently Lampard was a better manager than Bielsa, etc., and all kinds of nonsense. The fact that he hasn't been able to make the Chelsea squad work with the amount of talent and the money that they've spent is testament to a fact that this isn't his level. I reckon he'll stick around in management. I hear Ipswich are looking for a new manager. Maybe he can take the job there. I reckon that's more his level. But that just goes to show the importance of a world-class manager. There's no getting over the fact that Leeds have a championship level squad, and with a Frank Lampard in charge of Leeds, would be relegated, would be in 20th position. If Bielsa was managing one of the Liverpool or Chelsea or one of the Manchester clubs, they'd be top of the league. It's a testament to how fantastic of a manager he is, and it'll be a sad day when he decides to leave. I'm going to do a video in the future kind of describing or kind of talking about Bielsa, how long I think he's going to stay in the job, who I reckon a replacement could be for him if that sad day ever does arrive. But we can't underestimate the amount that man has done for this club, and he is 90% of the reason we're in the position that we're in. That's going to be all from me today. Thank you very much for tuning in to probably the last transfer update I'm going to do, at least until the summer, at the end of the season, because there's nothing going on in this January window. Leeds are done in the window. So that'll be it for the transfer news. Thank you for tuning in. Check out my Newcastle preview on the channel yesterday. Just talking about how I think the game's going to go. And if you haven't already, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. The support you guys have been giving me on this channel has been absolutely phenomenal. Please keep it up. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers and we can keep pumping that content out. That's going to be all from me, and as always, stay safe.